Missed it right there. Defense by Billy.
Any other night, I'd be happy to hear this music, but not tonight, because I know what type of hate is getting ready to be spewed in the studio. You know, these two right here already got me riled up, but, you know, we've had shots fired at us already through social media with this guy. Get over there and follow the account at Tovash and Ea on Twitter. White Talk Guys, Sports Porn, apparently put down their showmates. How you doing today, man?
What? How we doing, guys?
Yeah, it sounds like basically, Billy, we got called front runners for KP. That's pretty much in a nutshell what you said.
No.
If I can quote, listen to Added His Business tonight, you will hear yourself.
You were here for yourself. So because
well, go ahead.
This is pretty much the station for KP Tration. Like it's.
See what I'm talking about. I knew it was coming.
Representing Kristaps Porzingis till the sun goes down, and right now that shit is setting. So I'm on an island right now.
No, you're not. No, you're not. This guy here, he joined you.
Oh, you came?
Yeah, he saw the light.
You came over?
Yeah, he saw the light.
Bad.
He saw the light. Saw the light.
Okay, so it was like Rose and Jack. I won't let you go. And then like I threw her the oar, and then she swam over.
You know.
And caught the KP oar.
I hate it.
I hate it here. I hate the studio.
Listen.
What do you have to say?
I'm gonna say this. I'm not as like vicious as Tovash is. I mean, I don't care.
This guy here is ruthless.
Yeah, he's murdering KB for just walking down the street. He goes, "Dumbass, why are you walking down the street? You should be in the gym." I'm more like, it's not working. I'm sorry. I gotta call it out like I see it. It's not working out. I don't know what the hell's going on mentally, physically, who knows? But it's not working. I'm laying the facts out. The dude didn't do anything. Now, mind you, he did get that nice three-pointer, a very clutch three-pointer at the end.
Yeah, that was nice. Very Robert Horry of him. Back to you.
Unfortunately,
Robert Horry had 7 rings.
Okay.
One of Michael Jordan.
Unfortunately, the Clippers scored 2 3-pointers right afterwards, which kind of negated it. Yeah. So. That's what happened. I'm just saying what happened in the game.
Yeah, he just called
I'm just gonna wait my time, man. So you just let me know when to tag in.
You know
what?
Go ahead. It's good to be here. I'm not fishing on Sunday because the Mavericks are playing Sunday. So
regardless,
let's go to the lake on Saturday and get it over with.
But mind you, and I just found that out. Regardless, we're not trying to say who's winning tomorrow night. We're just saying, regardless, the Mavericks will be playing.
The Mavericks
Sunday.
play either Game 7 on Sunday or Game 1 versus Utah on Sunday. Both at the same time.
We're not jinxing anything.
So I ain't got shit to do on Sunday but watch the game. So I'm just gonna get drunk, eat nachos, and have fun with you guys.
There's nothing to jinx. The Mavericks are playing Sunday regardless.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I said I hope they understand we're not jinxing.
Yeah, y'all get it.
I'm telling the audience.
You're gonna see the Mavericks on Sunday regardless.
I got
we
it.
will see Luka on Sunday.
I'm telling the audience. You know we're on a show, right?
Now.
A radio show.
All right. So thanks for that PSA, EA. But let's go ahead and quiet our mics and just turn it over to
the KP show.
Do you want it or shall I take this?
I have a headache.
Do you want it or shall I take it? I'll take it.
Let me sit.
How much did KP pay you guys to do this infomercial?
You got any popcorn? Dang it.
So the KP infomercial paid by Kristaps Porzingis.
My mama told me. She told me.
The cards don't lie.
That's what my mama said. She said, just wait. Just let them. Okay. The Mavericks defeat the Clippers 105-100, and this was a pretty damn good game. Pretty impressive performance last night by one Mr. Luka Doncic, your guy.
The truth.
Yeah, the guy who you think is going to be leaving here pretty soon.
I didn't say he would.
Yeah.
It's a possibility if we don't if Donnie doesn't do his job right.
Yeah, you and your effing buddies over there. That's what y'all like.
My effing buddies. You and your effing buddies too. So
yeah, well, everybody's getting on my nerves with that. Tovash.
Yes.
I saw you on Twitter. You were very active at Tovash10 on Twitter. Get over there and follow that account. Thanks. You were very impressed with Luka Doncic's performance last night. Step back jack, as we like to call him, was in full effect last
very
night.
Disrespectful.
I was just telling Billy, I knew it was about to be a long night for the Clippers when Luka had a play where he got a switch and it was Paul George, and he drove to the basket. He was starting to drive to the basket. He turned around, came back to the three-point line, hit a three, and it went up and down. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be a long night for them. And this 42 points that he got, I can't place it on one person, EA. Because he spread this around evenly. Everybody got some of that 42. I mean, he served everybody. I mean, you want to come get dessert, dinner, whatever it was. He made sure everybody got a taste of that last night.
It seemed like the Clippers like, okay, it's your turn, and nobody's like, no.
He basically Kawhi'd the Clippers.
He did.
If you think about it, like Luka just gave the Clippers a dose of their own medicine in number 2 over there. What I was impressed by, and I'm sure you saw my tweet about Luka almost literally wearing the Clippers.
Yeah. You know when he was when he had him on on his back or whatever the whole time.
So if you're a baller, if you play point guard especially, when you bring the ball up the court, then sometimes Chris Paul does it a lot. Smart point guards do it a lot where they get the defender
on their hip.
Yes, on their hip, and they're no longer in front of them. Jason Kidd did it sometimes too, and so it usually goes pretty much for the offensive player because he has the ball and the defender can't touch him. So he's basically on his back, and it's like being in stop and go traffic on your cell phone. Like, you're in stop and go traffic, and you're looking at your phone, you're like, oh shit, I better not hit this car. Oh shit, I better not hit this car. Hold on. Let me send this text real quick to Kat. But is Jansen home? No, but what you got what the defenders actually have to understand is I can't touch him, so I have to put now I'm caught like this.
Yeah.
Luka is so smart. And I want you guys to understand and appreciate how smart he is. How smart is he, Vosh? Luka is so smart that he was keeping those guys on his hip like an Oak Cliff hood rat chick with her little 3-year-old on the hip with no shoes on. He was wearing Rondo. He put Rondo, he was grabbing Rondo and holding him like this while he was going to the rim that way. And so the refs pretty much can't see it. You got ref over here, you got ref on the side, you got ref on the other side. So the referees are not really seeing Luka grab Rondo and basically put him in a bay hold.
Yeah.
It's a bay hold. And so he's going to the rim and he's throwing up floaters. So before he takes his, before he takes his shot, he lets Rondo go. He still has Rondo on his back and he's taking a floater. Paul George can't stop that shit. Kawhi can't stop that. The average 7-footer can't stop that. So Luka understood that. And I think that, I saw about 3 or 4 buckets that he made like that, but it seemed that every single time he came down the court and ISO'd, there was some poor Clipper defender like, damn it, why am I on his hip right now?
The only thing that stopped Luka, I think, last night was some bad officiating from the
Oh my gosh.
Because that was some fucking terrible calls. Poor
could've gave me
Bobby.
50,
Poor
though.
Bobby. He had one call. They said, oh, I'm like, the dude is 7 foot, whatever. He has no
7'4".
choice, but okay, call it flagrant. But luckily they reversed the call. No, but the other thing that stopped Luka was just it wasn't going in the basket. Literally in the fourth quarter, the ball didn't. It's like the ball decided because I'm gonna try to help the Clippers out because he felt embarrassed for them because the ball will literally go in and out. And that I don't really fault Luka for that. He says he played terrible in the post game show. I don't fault him for that because he was still getting some really good shots and some open shots. So regardless, that was the only thing that stopped Luka Doncic. He was the truth. Now, I guess y'all's guy, KP, right?
Oh, did you hear that? Oh, y'all's guy.
I'm just saying, just y'all's guy.
Don't worry about it.
I mean, no, he's a good guy. I liked him.
Yeah, you hear that word like.
But
I used to love you, baby.
Yeah, and if he comes back with, I'll be like, hey,
Nope.
Regardless,
Go ahead.
Can you explain what happened with y'all's guy or Mr. KP? Because he had one great shot. Other than that,
Well, so let's start with this and make sure everyone understands it for what it is. Okay, Luka Doncic is the best player on this basketball team, right? We can all agree on that, right? There's no question. Okay, he's the best player on this basketball team. In the number 2 slot should be Kristaps Porzingis. Enter him into the game. We expect him to give us 20, 25. That's a fair assessment. That's a good number for him to have, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Not according to Vosh.
well, okay. Well,
I would love 25 from him.
You love 25?
I'll take 20.
I would right now.
20 good?
Hold
Is
on.
20 good enough for you?
Right now, we'd love 10 from him.
Okay, well,
Hold on.
Don't worry.
Hold on.
I got him. I got him.
18,
Yeah,
20,
9.
18.
9. Last night he had
Okay.
9.
No, he only had 8. Don't give me the 8.
Oh, sorry. He had 8.
18, 20, and 18. Just want to throw that out there. But y'all keep talking. He's done nothing in this series.
He hasn't played in 2 games.
What, and,
He didn't play last night.
He played last night.
And he
The
played-
game, in the game
he-
before that, he
No,
had 18
time out.
points.
He started at the beginning of the game, then he came.
He's like a defensive lineman.
Okay,
and
well,
shit.
Rick Carlisle explained what the situation was.
Okay, no, go
So
ahead.
back to you.
Go
Go
back
ahead.
to you. You
Look,
got
man,
this.
here's the bottom line about Kristaps Porzingis. People, and I'm going to call out everyone here. Okay, right here is this.
Please get that
right here,
camera
right
on him,
here.
Cat.
Get
This
that
one right here.
Right.
camera.
Please make sure this is for all of the people.
KP paid his good money for this.
No, I'm not getting paid for this at all. This is for all your people in the local media, everyone who's out there running around parading, talking about KP isn't this, he isn't that, he can't do this, he can't do that. So this is towards all of our fun guys over at the Fan, everyone over there at the Ticket,
Thank you.
all the YouTubers who don't know shit. I'm telling you what's going on, and you look at it. If you play the game of basketball, it is impossible to stay in any type of a fucking rhythm playing the game of basketball if you don't get shot attempts. That's the bottom line. I'm looking at a box score here that tells me that Kristaps Porzingis played 30 minutes last night in last night's game. And he would have probably had more if he wouldn't have gotten foul trouble. We can all agree on that. 6 shot attempts. 6. Now, some of the people are going to say, oh, well, he catches the ball. He immediately passes it out. Well, here's the thing. He's not catching the ball in positions where he can score. That's the bottom line. The Mavericks, this is more of a Dallas Mavericks issue with Kristaps Porzingis. Yes, there are times where he misses shots. That's part of the game. Luka Doncic gave you 43 points. He had 37 shot attempts last night. 3 away from 40. Okay? And he gave 3, 4, 5 of them to Dorian Finney-Smith, who wasn't knocking down shots. So those are the shots that we said Luka didn't take in the fourth quarter. He would have had over 40 shot attempts. I'm not saying KP should get the same amount of shots, but it is impossible to get in any type of rhythm playing the game of basketball if you're not touching the ball. Prime example, last night we watched the game, Tovash, I'm sure you saw it. Luka hit KP with a pass. This was before he hit that 3, and he bobbled it out like on the perimeter. We all saw that, right? Everybody, oh, he can't even catch the ball right and all that stuff. I'm not apologizing for KP not catching the ball. He should have caught it, okay? But what I'm saying is, when you're out of a rhythm and you don't touch the ball for 6, 7 straight possessions, it is hard to be engaged in a basketball game. When everybody talks, oh, he doesn't look like he's giving effort. He's checked out. He should not, but he's checked out. If I'm playing a game of pickup with you guys and all I'm doing is running up and down the floor, getting cardio, and y'all aren't passing me the ball, how the hell do you expect me to, in a big moment, to catch the ball and make a play?
I understand.
That's the problem that
This
I have.
reminds me of the Friends episode, the one where they play football.
Oh, here we go with this shit.
When Rachel just went go long because they didn't trust her. They said keep going long, and
Right.
Rachel's like going to get a pretzel, and Ross goes, "Where'd you get the pretzel?" He goes, "I went really long." So yes,
Right.
So I understand your point, but can I
Go ahead.
counter that?
Go ahead.
Okay, it seems like he's the only one that has this problem because Tim Hardaway Jr., Maxi Kleba, Dorian Finney-Smith,
Hold on,
Jalen
hold on.
Brunson.
I know where he's going with this. I know where he's going with this. Hold on.
Because
I got
Max
his
Cleaver
answer.
gave you 0 points in
I know,
32 minutes in the basketball game.
That was last night, but
That was the
not
night
last-
before.
Not last night, though.
yeah.
But go ahead,
Okay,
yeah.
but my point is, other guys throughout the season and in this game in this series, Luka Doncic and the Mavericks seem to find them. We seem to find Tim Hardaway Jr. and
Right.
that was fine. I
Right.
don't understand what's going on. My point is, and I get it, that you have really good points on the rhythm. I understand if you get checked, eventually you were like, "What the fuck's the point?" Right? I
Right.
get it. But it seems like when he does get the ball and his own energy at the start of the game, like for instance, I've seen a pattern. It starts off with Kristaps looking good at the beginning, right?
Okay.
We saw in last night's game, he had a nice little move to the basket and dunked it, and we're like, "Oh my, okay, KP." We don't see it again.
Tovash wasn't impressed.
Okay, well that's fine. But regardless, I was impressed. I was like, "Oh, okay, KP." Okay,
it don't take much
and then,
to impress
and
you.
then that's true. But then we don't see him again. We don't see anything. And when he has the ball, he doesn't do much with it, or he misses. He had 3 or 4 opportunities to shoot the ball up there. He had some 3-pointers, missed them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we can't. And here's the thing. You can't you can't force feed KP.
Right,
You
right.
can't
I
do
agree.
it. It
I
has to
agree.
come naturally.
Come within the flow of the game.
Because
I
guess
agree.
what? If you force feed KP now, if we're now forced to force feed him, then the Clippers know that. They're like, okay, well, fuck. Okay, we'll just go. We'll put everybody else guard him. Let KP do his thing because it's not working so far until he has to beat us. And now the offense is bogged down. It's now about force feeding KP. And Luka does not want to play that way. He wants to play
he
in the
shouldn't.
rhythm.
I agree
and
with you.
find what he wants to do. And so far, what Luka does works. So I'm just saying, if you want, I think the KP thing needs to come part of it. He needs to be a part of what's going on.
Come over here. Come over here and play with us.
Okay, that's fine. But I'll say this though, You play the game of basketball. It is your point. That's why I'm always critical of Luka. It's not because he's not a good basketball player. He's a great basketball player. The problem is Luka Doncic. You're the guy that controls the flow of the offense. Your ass has to get him the ball in those positions. I've watched Luka Doncic in many of these games come down the floor, get a guy on the hip, look at KP wide open, and I'm going to pass it across the floor to Finney Smith and brick.
Tovash, if let's say we're playing a pickup game, and I miss like 4 straight, and I suck, and you see me wide open, you'll be like,
I'm not going to you.
4 straight, he only gets 6 shot attempts.
He didn't even get his shot attempts.
So
What are we talking about?
Here's what's
Hold
happening.
on, I definitely got to hear this right here.
So here's what's happening. All right, so back in 2003, 2004 at UTA, we used to call it peepholing. It's almost like somebody knocks on the door. You look in the peephole, you ignore them, right? So what happens is, I'm the point guard, I'm the distributor, I'm coming down, I'm dribbling or whatever, and I see my guys. Luka's brain and Jason Kidd's brain did the same thing. Luka's and Jason Kidd's brain goes, who do I trust the most? Who fucked with me all regular season? Can I really like in tenths of a second, can I really rely on him? What's his percentage? It's almost like Terminator brain.
Okay.
You know, like when he walked into a bar or whatever and just like competing and everything, and all these like percentages just come up. So he has a Terminator brain. Kawhi has the same brain. LeBron has the same brain. Who do you trust the most with the basketball in a particular time slot? And Luka's not really going to him because he knows he got some reliable dudes standing on the perimeter. He knows that he knows that Tim Hardaway Jr. is a rhythm shooter, so he's a bounce guy. He's a bounce shoot guy. He's not really a catch guy. He knows that number 10 is a catch guy.
Right.
He knows that Bobby, if he gets the ball high enough to Bobby, he can either catch it and dunk it or catch it and get fouled. Right. And Bobby's like a good free throw shooter. Like he sees this with the ball with like tenths of a second.
Right.
And if you don't watch basketball, then you don't understand what I'm talking about. So as far as your rhythm talk, it's cool. Do that when number 77 is not on the court. I don't need you trying to get into a rhythm while your ace is on the court right now because your ace is operating and working. Let him work. Let him cook. I don't need you worrying about, I can't get my touches because number 77 has the ball. And he said that before in post games. You know, he's like, you know who has the ball, so I really can't get in the rhythm. Bitch, it's the playoffs. So I don't need excuses for this guy when I'm, and I really don't like counting money, but I'm giving a lot of this. Isn't he the most paid player on the team right now?
Technically, it would be.
Okay,
It would be, yes.
He gave me 8 last night. If I'm Luka, I'm walking to the locker room and busting him across the face real quick.
You're right.
Anthony Davis gave.
And he's injured.
Okay.
And he's injured.
Okay.
And that's not the correct team.
Okay.
In fact, Anthony Davis ain't playing worth the shit either because he stays injured. LeBron should be slapping his ass too and putting ice on it.
Well, we got on Dennis Schroeder for giving us 0 points in the game too.
I'm telling y'all right now, bro.
And
I'm not paying for bullshit because like Chan Ho Park, when he was a Ranger, he was making $60 million, and people came for his head because he wasn't giving you shit.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, when you start making money in this world, people gonna start calling for your job in your head.
I want to relate on this one. He said that it's the playoffs. There's one thing. The whole rhythm thing and trusting and getting everything, that's what the regular season's for. Sure. And that's where you're okay. You're like, who's going to ride with me and everything. So when we get to the playoffs, I can trust you, right? That's what the regular season's for, to test that out. KP, unfortunately, missed a lot of time. And so Luka doesn't – I'm not trying to say that regardless of what's going on with KP and all that, I understand why Luka doesn't trust him as much. These other guys were there for Luka for most of the season. KP wasn't. It's not like he hates KP. I don't think he really hates or does anything. He just doesn't trust him in the playoffs because right now, I don't give a fuck about your feelings. Right. We're trying to win. We're trying to go to the next round. We're trying to make something happen. We're not messing around with people's feelings right now.
Right.
So they don't care. Now, I will say this. The team hasn't checked out on KP because I tell you right now what I saw when he hit that three, that
Luka
very clutch three. Luka hit him there. Luka came up. As soon as that happened, they all showed it. Luka came up, one of the first people to come up and a big like, hey man, and they gave him they're like, hey,
I mean, it's the least he could do. I mean, he looked at him like 5 times and threw the ball to Finney Smith in the corner and threw it all over the court.
I'm just saying.
That's just a mute point. I don't even know why I brought that up.
Well, what's your point, Mr.
Well, my thing is I like talking about the game last night. I mean,
you just want to gloss over the
I want to talk about the game last night. We can get back to KP.
Somebody get it
at some point here. I want to talk to Vosh here about something Ty Lue said last night. Yeah, guy, I wrote this quote down. Want to make sure I get this right because I don't want to misrepresent Ty Lue. Now, if you remember, EA, after game 2, after Luka cooked him,
right?
It was game 1. He came out and said he made it known that with Kawhi, you're gonna get your wish. Kawhi is gonna get Luka. He's gonna stick him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to figure out why in the press conference last night he said this, and I quote: "We asked Kawhi to do a lot. You the one who came out and said you was gonna put him on Luka. So what is this? You asked him to do a lot. What's that about?"
He said that in game 3 though. That was for game 3.
It doesn't matter. Whenever he said it, you told us we was gonna get our wish. That you said that Kawhi is the claw, right? And Kawhi got big hands. He stopped people.
But something worked.
What happened?
They won.
All right, that's cool. But we talking about
won the next one.
Well, we talking about this. We talking about this game. I can't. I mean, that's the past.
Yeah, but you dunking on him about the past shit.
Well, no, he said this is last night.
Okay.
He said this last night. He said we asked Kawhi to do a lot. He's giving an excuse as to why Kawhi played the way he did last night. And I'm just trying to figure out why is this necessary? What are we doing here, Bosh?
So what excuse exactly is he giving for Kawhi?
He's caping for Kawhi when Kawhi played bad.
Basically saying that Kawhi's tired.
Yeah. Well,
okay,
he was tired before you. Yeah, didn't they rest?
No, they didn't. Kawhi didn't.
Well, remember they skipped games at the end. They said we want. They said we want to be healthy. We want to be.
If it was your guy KP, he'd be out a week. But for Kawhi, he played 42. He played 42 minutes and gave you 20 points. A lot of motherfuckers didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like Paul George gave you 39 minutes and gave you 23 points. We're not attacking Paul George. You know, like the whole Clippers starting 5 gave you double figures. They did their job. There's another guy on the other side that's like better than all those guys right now.
Yeah. You know the Clippers, like Tovash said, the Clippers had 5 players in double figures, and Mavericks only had 2.
They did, and Tim Hardaway was kind of a because
wasn't his best
effort.
Because he was dead for most of the night, and then at the very end,
don't dump on dude. Like
he did. That's the truth. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just saying, but yeah, I understand. But for most of the game, literally, and I think I read this one stat. They said that Luka was responsible for of all his shots. He was either the guy scoring or he had assisted.
He was 31 of 37 on and scored on assisted baskets.
Yeah,
that is amazing. Had I known this on the post game last night, I'd have lost my mind. I told it was I'd have been unbearable had I known this.
And then I think Shaq said something that like I've never seen where I saw at least that the one team has 5 starters and double figures and the other only have 2
and win the game
that's just incredible that we're seeing that kind of that impact Luka has. Mm-hmm. Now it's also a bad thing because the rest of the Mavericks are not contributing to that.
So here's where I'm going to give Rick Carlisle his flowers. Okay.
Oh,
this is great. This is where the greatness of Rick Carlisle came in.
Oh wow, greatness.
So Rick Carlisle had the game plan of making Ty Lue play right into it. Reggie Jackson was 6 of 12 last night.
Yep.
And he knocked his shots down. Paul George was 7 of 14. Rick Carlisle had the notion, well, let's get Reggie Jackson comfortable shooting. Because if he's going to be shooting the ball, guess what that means? This guy's shot attempts go down. Mm-hmm. And that means that's what we want. Hey, Reggie Jackson, remember the other night when you was shooting on threes? Let's do it. Hey, Marquise Moore, remember you was getting some action? Let's go for it. But you see these guys right here, all them shots y'all taking, guess what? You taking away from Kawhi and you taking away from Paul George. And guess what? We got 77 over here ready to bust.
Yeah, it's interesting because in the Inside the NBA guys did talk about that, about how it's kind of like a reverse thing. What we're all talking about. You stop Kawhi, you stop the other team, right?
Yeah.
And,
not anymore.
And Carlisle kind of just flipped it on its switch. And said, okay, well, we'll let those guys do it. We'll focus on Kawhi and Paul George because in the end, those guys are the ones that are going to kill us.
Right.
So focus on them. We won't worry about that. Now, what I worry about is, again, it's a game of adjustments. We're going to go to game 6. Mm-hmm. Will Ty Lue do that? And I think they might. I think they're going to put but so far it hasn't worked, but they're going to send like an army. Will they start double and maybe even triple team and look at Doncic?
Okay, well, if they do that, then everybody's going to be open.
Now, are we going to make our shots?
Okay, so in game, what was that, game 4? was it game 4? Well, that was the bad game, right?
Yeah,
With Luka.
that was-
So game 4, they went with the notion of we're gonna run the Mavericks off the 3-point line. So that was their game plan in game 4. Somehow they did not. I didn't see that notion last night because Luka was just too hot to even focus on that. So game 4, they took the others away, and Luka was hurt too, and whatever. But still, that was the game plan for game 4. We're not letting them get comfortable. We're not letting Tim Hardaway get set. When Tim Hardaway gets the ball, somebody meet him right there in his face. That's what they did game 4. Now this game here again, they came back, and like I said, Luka was just too hot, too cooking. They was just like, hey, forget about them. Go get him. And it didn't matter. They tried to throw the house at him, and he had 40 points.
Tovash,
third quarter.
agree with me on this one. I think this series has been calming down. It doesn't matter about the role players anymore. It's about whose superstar is better. Who plays better? Whose superstar plays better?
Actually, it's a little of both.
It's still a little both.
Because both superstars, quote unquote, have a team. It just doesn't show up in the stats. Because what we saw last night was an excellent defensive effort. Started by number 10, and then it trickled all the way down.
Yeah.
The Clippers did help you, though. The Clippers helped you because they missed a lot of open shots.
They did.
Okay.
Hey, Reggie Jackson didn't.
The Clippers haven't shot well at home in this series. Just in this series, y'all. So like the thing is, so and then like somebody like messaged me on Twitter yesterday talking about, well, we rather have games here in LA. Let's just stay in LA and just play basketball. And I was like,
That's
yeah,
kind of
cool.
a good point.
That's a good damn point.
Game
but-
7, we go to game 7. We know how that's in it. Because Mavericks play good. That's the thing, though. The Mavericks have played good on the road all season. But at home, I don't know what it is.
Which I think what may change tomorrow is that let's say Ty goes, all right, run him off the line again. If you run him off the line now, if you run Luka off the line, it's trouble because of what he did last night. And that's a product of run him off the line if you want to. We're going to get the ball to 77 the whole time. So it's okay for just one player to have 20 points outside of him. Because Luka's ass should have scored 55.
He really should have had like
Because
a career high.
He missed a lot of easy buckets and
Yeah.
free throws.
Come in the fourth quarter, I'm noticing the trend about him in the fourth quarter. He don't score it. His game, and I guess it's because he's so tired from the first 3. But his game he's not scoring a lot of points in the
Well,
fourth
they're not
quarter.
giving him his normal rest too. I mean, he's
Right.
Yeah. I will say this: Mavericks win Game 6 if Luka still, and it's obvious if Luka just can stay as normal, whatever he's been, and he has been outside of Game 4, which was because we know it's because of the neck thing. He's been spectacular. We just need one more player just to consistently step up and hit their shots. We just that one more player. That's it. And they win Game 6. The Clippers cannot. They've tried it. We've seen. They've tried it all series long. They can't stop Luka. So it's up to somebody else to come up and step up big. And maybe it's your guy. Maybe it's y'all's guy.
Before you guys can say, well, see, now this is how we revert back to KP because last night Rick said, and KP said in the post game that basically his job last night was to space the floor. That's all his job was. It wasn't about him scoring. It wasn't about him doing that. He says that Rick came out and said it too. He said our job was to make sure that we spaced the floor out. That was his pure intention last night. So, when you look at it, I guess it was a good game plan at the end of the day to have him spacing the floor out. But and like he said, Rick gave him his flowers. He was like, credit to KP for staying in the moment. Not getting. He like you said, anybody else could have been upset that they didn't. But he stayed in the moment. He didn't get down. He played his part last night.
He didn't want KP's brother coming in there with him.
Yeah, well, he basically said he played his part last night. He said he played. He hit a big shot for us, which is what we needed, which is what we were ultimately hoping for.
He said
But
one of
KP
the biggest shots of the season.
He claimed the biggest shot of the season.
It was huge.
Yeah.
And shame on them for. We'll talk about that later. Listen, I do want to bring up 2 things I'm surprised we haven't mentioned tonight. So, and I think one of them is a byproduct of Luka playing the heavy minutes, right? So in the fourth quarter, he's not been good. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
That's
that.
what I was just saying. That's what I was just saying.
Right. So last night, 2 points in the fourth quarter. I don't criticize him too heavily because it's like, man, I know he's dog tired. You can tell. They ask a lot of him. But somehow they're going to have to find a way to get Luka Doncic rest, and the team is going to still have to be productive without him being on the floor. It was absolutely amazing to see when the Mavericks got up to, 14-point lead at the end of the third quarter, and then within the first 2 or 3 minutes of the fourth quarter, I mean, bam, these guys are just right back. Then last night, when they got up by 10 after KP hit the big shot, it was like, man, they just, I don't know if they fell asleep or what. And then it's like Luka.
Some bad officiating going on there.
Yeah, and I was going to speak on that too, man. But I wanted to bring this up because I sent this message to you guys in the group chat last night. I was like,
Tovash warned us. He's like, watch out for these refs.
Bro, I felt it coming. I was like, hey, you know what?
And we saw it. No, and you were 100% right. I felt it, and it was just like call after call. But I put it in a group chat last night. I was like, hey, guys, I said, man, Luka's not a superstar. We can't walk around calling him a superstar if we can't close out games like this because we're up. We have all the momentum. You got to seize the moment. You got to kill these guys right now. And I was just sitting there watching. I was watching the score, just the lead dwindle away. Luka win. I think what was it? One of 8 in the fourth quarter.
Right.
And had a couple of bad turnovers. So I'm like, man, this is really bad. So I don't know. And I'm just asking you guys. Do you think that's more just of a byproduct of him being really, really tired, or the Clippers just locking down in the fourth quarter?
I think. Okay, so to that. All right. So just watching the game possession by possession. I saw a couple of things. I saw Luka going for the kill.
Right.
He shot a kill shot.
Oh yeah.
When they were up 14.
Yeah.
Is that the one where he ran down court by himself and launched
And
it?
chunked it.
Yeah.
Didn't go in.
I got mad too. I was like, Luka.
It was on the.
He was like a
logo.
Hey, listen,
Yeah.
if he'd hit that three, they would have set him down. They'd be
Oh,
like,
yeah,
all right,
yeah.
we good. We got this tonight.
So,
that's what he wanted, though.
He missed
going
that.
for it, yeah.
He shot a YOLO shot, and then also Tim Hardaway. You got to be smart. You got to be smart because of what I seen yesterday. Like he still takes those ill-advised jumpers, man. Like sometimes he'll take a dumbass shot early in the shot clock, right? And then Rick is just like, no, what the hell are you doing? Because the very next possession, the Clippers missed a shot, and then Luka, he's bringing up the court, and then he backs out. I'm like, all right, Rick, that's what Rick wanted out of THJ, but THJ shot up that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because he wants to still put his number. THJ is like animal on Muppet Babies. Like he doesn't have a brain. He just shoots the ball and wants to score. That's all he does. He's a shark. He wants to eat. Yeah. That's it. He doesn't sleep. Whatever. He just shoots. That's it. So okay. So I mean, you bring that part up, and then the superstar part of it. I mean, the Clippers kind of helped you and kind of helped Luka be a superstar, but at the same time, like I look at those possessions toward the end, and Rondo gave you a brick, Kawhi gave you a brick, Terrence Mann smoked the layup.
Terrence Mann, no, he gave up the layup. He hit. He got right there.
He got to the rim and said, "It's not gonna be my fault tonight, y'all. Who won it?"
Yeah, and he goes, "Oh, Batum." And Batum smoked it. He was like, "Oh."
Yeah, he wasn't expecting it.
Well, Batum wasn't expecting it. He did the best he could.
I know it, but he was like, "What is the ball doing in my hand?"
So that tells me that the pressure is on those guys outside of Kawhi and Paul George, because Kawhi and Paul George have that shit under control. Rondo, keep the ball in his hands tomorrow.
Yeah, please.
Let Rondo kill you tomorrow.
Please.
Allow him. Now, he did play here.
Airball.
He did play here, so it was crucial too. Yeah. But it may be kind of beneficial for him. But Rondo, if I'm Rick, I'm allowing Rondo to kill me. I'm going, Kawhi, you know what? Clamps outside, picking you up at half court, Kawhi, picking you up at half court, Paul George. I'm letting that dude go one-on-one.
Well, that's what he did, Reggie Jackson. He was like, Reggie Jackson, come on, get it.
Reggie's
come on,
better.
But he's a scorer, though. He can score the rock, though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. To Reggie's credit, though, he knocked down his shots.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I'm saying. All his shooting took away from Kawhi. See, it took Kawhi in them out of rhythm because he was launching the ball. It was like, okay, well, hey, I would have been shocked if Rick said, hey, just let him shoot.
I will say this, though. Regardless of what Luka's like ill-fated 1 of 7 down the stretch, he was tired, but a lot of those shots, again, like I said earlier in the segment, they were hitting, though. I mean, just in basketball, this one thing about basketball that kind of gets me like irked is that, oh, you're a bad shooter if you can't make it. I know it's a make or miss league, but
shot making league.
But sometimes it's up to the gravity in the basketball, and we're unlike any other sport, we're relying a lot on the gravity of the basketball to decide whether it's going to go in.
Right.
And so a lot of those shots he had in the fourth quarter would have hit. They were like groaners, like. Oh, like it was like just an inch off, and it would have been in. Yeah. But that's the playoffs.
Yeah, he's not missing them bad or anything like that.
And another thing is that the defense clamped down, especially when the Clippers got back within one.
Right.
The free throw shooting, that was smart. Josh Richardson, kudos to him.
Yeah.
Tim Hardaway Jr.
Big shots.
Coming down. That's important.
Yeah.
And they kept him in there. I even took KP out of there. Like, whoa, KP, we don't trust you right now.
Yeah, I mean, well, you put your two best free throw shooters out there.
Which it's funny because
like
KP is an excellent free throw shooter. So
Yeah, like 80-something%. Yeah.
I will say this though. This is like, okay, so we talked about game 3 and game 4 of the Mavericks needing KP. The Mavericks really, really need KP tomorrow.
They have to have him.
They have to have him because Rick's formula of going big was amazing. Just imagine KP and Bobby eating at the same time, and Luka not having to, stress and put that pressure on himself.
Right.
I was like, it works for about 3 or 5 minutes.
The Clippers can't stop it.
I know.
You gotta get fouled.
But you had it only failed because you had to take Boban off because at some point it was like, all right, well, you can't keep him in too long. Right. So it worked for him when it stopped working.
He would have picked up like 6 fouls within the first.
Yeah, but it did. But then what happened was it started like Bobby started. Not that he was overcompensating, but like he was starting to slow down and stuff was starting to happen. It was like, all right, well now we got to take him off.
Yeah.
Got to take him off real quick.
It's a rotational type thing. You got to do it in certain
I'm sorry.
spots.
I know we have to wrap this up, but Dwight Powell. Goodness.
Depot 7.
That's
the guy who saved the series. Did you see him last night? Gave him his
he
flowers
jumped
last
over. He jumped over a human being, got the rebound. Like, nope.
Well, I wanted him to start last night.
That rebound was bigger than the KP3.
It was, but I wanted him to start for that reason.
You on that.
I wanted him to start last night for that reason.
I think he's not going to start in Game 6, but I still think that
I think
Carl's going to bring out the same lineup. And he's just going to wait to see what Tyler adjusts to.
And that's what we were talking about earlier. That's why I was saying, if Luke is hot like he was, like going off whatever, that's why I wanted Tim to go back off the bench, because like I said, if Luke is hot, everybody's just standing around watching, so they're not gonna get in rhythm and flow. So with a guy like Tim, like you said, the type of shooter he is, right? If you bring him off the bench, you put him with what Dwight Powell was doing last night, man, they would have smoked.
So like J.R. Smith.
Yep. Okay. Yes.
Quick question.
Your best friend.
Quick question for you guys. So you know how we always talk about LeBron James when he's playing with the Cavs, and they were like, okay, LeBron's got to get everybody involved early. So LeBron would take his time. He knows he can get his. He's going to get Kyle Korver. He's going to get JR and all those guys off. Do you see that happening tomorrow with Luka, where they come out and they say, hey, Luka, look, try your hardest to get everybody going.
Luka coming to kill tomorrow.
Is that the best? I mean, we know he's capable of doing it.
I will say this. This is not going to be – I will say this, and I hope I'm right about this. The Mavs aren't, and I don't know what the fuck's going on in their heads. Right. But it's not going to be Game 3. This is not going to be – this is your 3-up, 3-2 now. Kill a shot.
You got to
go
for the kill.
You
do not Kenny Smith was bringing up about, because this series is very similar to when they played – the Houston Rockets played against the San Antonio Spurs back in 95 playoffs. And they said they were going – it's the same way. And he said that they love playing on the road. And they said when he arrived on the plane, he said that – goes, oh, looks like we're home, blah, blah, blah. I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, I'm trying to make you feel like, we're playing it on. He's trying to psych himself up. But he said when they got to Game 6 – they said, no, we're not coming back. He goes, I told the ball boys up there in San Antonio, I will see you guys next year.
Right.
Because we're done. We're ending this in Game 6.
Yep.
Let me tell you something.
They have to have that same mentality.
They have to have that mentality.
Let me tell you something about that series. That boy, Hakeem Olajuwon, probably put the greatest move in the world on Dave Robinson. Underneath, right there underneath the basket. When he faked, put it out there, went back under, and dunked. I was like, oh, my.
That was doing a big run, too.
That was on a big run, but It was so cold. I keep saying Tim. Dave Robinson was in the post game. He was like, man, that dude just playing out his mind. I don't know what else I could have did.
Well, KP be that guy.
No, be that close to the basket.
You know what though?
He need to go see Hakeem Olajuwon camp or something this summer, because
I do fear one thing.
Man, he's not big. He's not big enough.
What's your fear?
I fear.
It's not that, the footwork.
Oh yeah,
the footwork.
The footwork camp.
Yeah.
Okay, so with the Mavericks, I fear one thing. And I want y'all to hear this at home. Luka may kind of mess this game off too, because I think his adrenaline is going to be too high.
No, you mean like overshoot. Like he even said last night. He said I shot the ball too much.
He's going to be pumped tomorrow night.
That place is going to be rocking.
The energy that the AAC is going to bring tomorrow, he's going to start out just like he did in Game 3.
Yeah,
and that may not be beneficial.
Okay, AAC. Everybody, AAC. tone it down just at the beginning.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because that
Let
was
all the rich people get down to the bottom.
that was a discussion we were having when we were talking about Game 3. I was like, man, Luka was on fire, but while he was on fire, he should have been getting everybody involved, and they wouldn't have had that problem. He was cooking so much that he just left everybody out, and it was like, man, that night they was just like,
fuck, 105.
Now I will say this: they were making that big run, and it was like they're gonna get cold really quick. Because I just felt like they were letting everything out. You know, when you were the woman. You just
whoa, hold on, wait.
I haven't done it in a long time.
Sorry about that, Cat.
Let it out.
Yeah,
let it out.
I'm just saying.
Cat, can you identify with that?
What I meant to say is when you're with a woman, you let it all out, as in you buy her dinner, you take her out like that. I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, we're not doing. Yeah, we don't do that anymore in 2020.
We ain't buying dinner.
Yeah, we're not buying dinner.
Well, hopefully, Game 6. Hopefully, when we come back Tuesday, we will be talking about what's going on in Utah, but we'll see. Game 6 tomorrow night.
Well, hey, listen, we'll either be starting in Utah or we would have played Utah in game. It's one of the two.
Well, but are anybody going to the AC Friday?
Yeah, I was just getting ready. Can we confirm a site in the
Not
tomorrow?
confirmed, but my stuff is packed just in case I get a ticket or two.
Okay. You waiting on a little stub hub action?
I'm waiting on a good deal.
You're a good little stub hub action.
Am I gonna come from work down the elevator and have you attack me?
Well, can you tell us about it? There was a situation that developed.
It was Paul George's homeboys, and I told these fools to watch. So now you down 3-2, you ain't got nothing to say. But see, after the game, Paul George's homeboys, and they all had 13 jerseys on. And I told them my partner used to wear. Yeah. I told them my partner wore 13 before Paul George wore 13 for the Clippers, and I was like, I got that same jersey, bro. Who you home with? And so I told them, Quentin Ross back in the day, this, that, and the other, and they're all talking. And there was one of them in the group who was he wanted to get at me.
Yeah.
Right. So, but we're having a mature grown man sports debate under inebriated and angry.
Thought alcohol might have been involved.
So we're both going back and forth or whatever. So one of his partners is like, all right, yeah, cool it. We'll see. We'll see you Sunday type stuff. And I was trying to tell him that, bro, I've been there as one of you dudes. And, y'all got to watch basketball for the bigger picture. You can't come to somebody's neighborhood and go, hey, we got this shit. It's 1-2. It's 1-2. He was saying 1-2. I was like, no, you say it the other way.
Correct.
It's 2-1. You're down 2-1, sir. You're down 2-1. And you're coming into Dallas talking shit as if we don't have two more games to win versus your 3. But they let me have it, though.
Well, why'd you attack EA though?
I was still fired up.
I was coming out, so I was like doing an overnight shift, and as you know, the studios are
right next to this.
So I come down the elevator. I'm going to 7-Eleven, and just walking. I hear, and I got right before. By the way, I'm tweeting at Tovash, and I'm just like upset, and he's just like, we'll see. So I sent something back to Tovash, and I was like, you know what? He's probably downstairs because I know he was at the game. He's probably gonna attack me. I walk out, and he goes, "Hey!"
Yeah.
Like, what? And he just comes in like stumbling, and he's like, "How dare?" And I'm like, he's like, mad. And he goes, "Nah." I'm like, Tovash. And he goes, "Nah." He's like, telling me to go away. I was like, dude, chill. And I'm like, all right. Then he calmed down a little bit, but then I could smell the.
You can smell what the rock was good.
Where were you?
It was okay.
Yeah, not if he smelled it on you. Good God, how many drinks did you have?
50, 11.
I was like, either way, Tovash had a good night.
It's a full report on him at the game. Some other girls some girl was talking to you. You just walked off. Yeah, it's a full report of what he did at the AAC the other night.
Oh, okay. So it's nothing, y'all. So, okay. So wait. So
wait, no, you done joined the post game show. He done went off on everybody at the AAC.
Well, no, our homegirl on the show, Dallas Mocha, Jerica, on Twitter. She said that I went up to, I gave her a hug. I was about to go into the pro shop, but then I saw Michael Irvin over here. Mm-hmm. Right? And so I gave her a hug. I go, "Oh, that's the playmaker." And then I went off. And then the girl was like, "Oh, I wish you would have stayed here because his lips."
If I could, she said you had soft lips.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I laughed. I was like, "Oh man, you shouldn't have put this on social media. You don't get that. You don't give a guy like me that type of ammunition."
But no, I mean I was good. And then the AAC, bro, when the game is over, leave. They shut that whole thing down, bro.
Yeah, get out.
Oh, yeah. Mike was trying to get into the number 7 Jack Daniels Club,
Michael.
and they Irvin,
Irvin,
the playmaker.
the play.
Oh, I thought you were talking about. I'm sorry. Yeah, we talking about Irving.
And they had the thing down, and everybody's like, "Well, he needs a drink though. Do y'all not understand who this dude is?"
He brought this town 3 championships.
And the bartenders are going, "We're still sorry, we're closed," but we're like, "He needs a drink though. Him, this guy right here." He's like, "Oh, it's
Still a super spreader, even boss. You got to get everybody out. We don't want to spread.
Then he bounced.
Yeah.
if you see Tovash on Friday night, nothing.
So I tell you what,
Don't argue with me because I love to argue when I'm drinking.
You're gonna be in for a long night. Ea almost caught an ass whooping, and he just was walking down the stairs. Let's take a break. When we come back. Let's talk about fans here at these sporting events.
They get crazy. They
We
get
got to
crazy.
figure out what's going on around here, and we got to definitely figure out because Tovash. I don't know if you know. Sometimes he works at a big building